ॐ ॐ ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। जय गुरुदेव।
Jai Gurudev.
I think Dr. Mara hasn't joined yet.
She has messaged that she will join. She'll be a bit late as she's coming from the temple.
Yeah. Let me just share screen 1 minute. Give me some time.
Ayo, is started the prayer already? Hello?
Yeah. It's the prayer is done. We're waiting. So you're able to share screen, Dr. Mara?
Okay, hold on. Okay, I just got We are starting from the second sloka, right? Should we repeat anything or should start from the second one? Okay. Sorry guys, I got delayed.
You can chant the first shloka and then go on to the second.
You want the chant first sloka? Okay. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Samprapte san nihite kale, Samprapte san nihite kale, nahi nahi rakshate dukrang karane, nahi nahi rakshate dukrang karane, bhaja govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Mudajahi Hidanahamadrishna Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasividrishna Mudajahi Hidanahamadrishna Guru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vidrishnam Yallabhaje Nija Karmopatam Yallabhate Nija Karmopatam Vitam Tena Vinodaya Chitam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. So this Muda, oh fool. This is Jahihi. Sorry. Okay. Jahihi is give up. Danahamad Rishnam, the thirst to possess wealth. The Nagamat Rishnam, thirst to possess, the thirst to possess wealth. And then Guru is create, and Sadbuddhi, thoughts of reality, Manasi, in your mind, Vitrishnam, thoughts of, devoid of passion, Vitrishnam, devoid of passion, and Vitam, is that Vitam? Yeah, with whatever, then is you get, no, what is that? Lagma.
Are you
I'm
able
not
to
sure.
expand?
Labse,
If
Labse, you are saying Labse?
1 second.
No,
Okay.
it's with whatever is
As a-
what. I don't know what that word is. With
Which one?
Yat. Yat is with whatever, and Labse is you get. In bracket is as a reward of the past. Yeah.
Okay. You get as a reward of the past. And Nija. Is it Nija? Karma.
It is
by your actions. Nija
Nija
karma,
karma.
by your actions.
Yeah. By your
And then Patam is,
Upatam.
Upatam. Okay. Upatam is obtained. And then
Vittam.
Vittam is the wealth.
Vittam. Wealth.
Vittam, wealth, right? And then what is
Tena.
Dehi?
I think you're finding it difficult to read the Sanskrit, right? No issues.
You
want me to
Tena
help?
is with what?
Yeah,
With
Savita,
that.
you can read
Dr.
it. Yeah.
Savita, you can go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I'll read from the beginning the meaning.
Yeah, start from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mood, O fool, jahi hi give up. Dhan agam trishnam, the thirst to possess wealth. Guru create. Sadbuddhim, thought of reality. Manasi, in your mind. With Trishnam, devoid of passions. Yat, with whatever. Labhase, you get as a reward of the past. Nij karma, by your actions. Upat, upatam, obtained. Vittam, the wealth. Tena, with that. Vinodya, entertain. Chittam, your mind. Yeah, you
Sorry,
go ahead.
I don't know where this page code. Sorry.
Yeah, you start from Oh Fool. The page
Okay.
is disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think this is so sensitive, this phones, Okay.
This
Oh,
is
it's a
page number 13. 13 page number.
13 page, right?
13, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is
It
The
might
14th.
help,
third.
Dr. Mara, if you want to share it next time from your
Yeah,
laptop or iPad, it'll be easier. On the phone,
Yeah,
sometimes it can get a little tricky.
right. Since I have this Zoom on this one, it was easier to transfer. Anyway, I think phone gets really picks up. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, oh fool, give up the thirst to possess wealth. Create in your mind, divide of passions, thoughts of the reality. With whatever you get as a reward of the past, entertain your mind. That's be content. So again, I'll read this, O fool. You give up the thirst to possess the wealth. Create in your mind, devoid of passions, thoughts of the reality. So we have to create the thoughts of the reality and divide the passions with whatever you get as a reward of the past. So whatever karmas, the fruits of action from the past, entertain your mind, be content with it. Then seek Govind, seek Govind. The extrovert personality wanders away, wanders away from reality to get himself enmeshed in the finite experiences of joys and seeks his fulfillment in the world outside. Desire for possessing, acquiring, hoarding, and enjoying is the only motive force that takes man out of his own inner equipoise into the stormy realms of lust and greed. By so doing, man gets himself involved in the sorrows of samsara, although he is really the inheritor of endless peace and perfection. So let me read this paragraph one more time. The extrovert personality wanders away from the reality to get himself. So the extrovert personality wanders away from reality to get himself enmeshed in the finite experiences of joys and seeks his fulfillment in the world outside. So desire for possessing, acquiring, hoarding, and enjoying is the only motive force that takes man out of his own inner equipoise into the stormy realms of lust and greed. By so doing, man gets himself involved in the sorrows of samsara, although he is really the inheritor of endless peace and perfection. So I'll go further. One who comes to suffer from one's own ignorance.
Dr. Mara, do you need some help reading?
Yeah, you guys want to read this, and I'll try to get it on the other thing for you.
No problem. Let me share
Okay.
screen in the meantime. 1 second.
Okay. I'll read in the meantime. One who comes to suffer from one's own ignorance is called a fool. Sankara hit the nail on the head of the entire problem. Okay.
Yeah. Shankara hits the nail on the head of the entire problem of the sorrows in life when he appeals to man to give up the thirst to possess wealth. Here, the term wealth, dhanam, is to be understood in the largest sense of the term. It includes in its embrace all worldly objects of possession with which the possessor vainly feels a temporary satisfaction. So it embraces all worldly objects of possession with which the possessor vainly feels a temporary satisfaction. Wealth in itself is innocent. Philosophy is not against wealth. It is not said here, renounce wealth, but only the insatiable thirst, Trishna, for wealth that is to be given up. Desire for wealth is the relationship that the individual keeps subjectively with the objects of the world, which he believes can probably give him happiness. The objects outside are not to be condemned, but man's relationship with them is to be intelligent and chaste. When the mind is thus cleansed of passions, with a passionless mind, vitrishna, one must meditate upon the reality. If the mind is withdrawn from its present preoccupations, it becomes empty, and nature abhors vacuum. Abhors is hates, dislikes vacuum. If the mind is withdrawn from the objects of its entertainment, it gathers in itself an infinite momentum. And if it cannot discover for itself a creative field of self application, it is sure to dissipate itself again into a different set of objects. I will just read this one more time. Wealth in itself is innocent. Philosophy is not against wealth. It is not said here, renounce wealth, but only the insatiable thirst, Krishna, for wealth that is to be given up. Desire for wealth is the relationship that the individual keeps subjectively with the objects of the world, which he believes can probably give him happiness. The objects outside are not to be condemned, but man's relationship with them is to be intelligent and chaste. When the mind is thus cleansed of passions, with a passionless mind, that is vitrishna, one must meditate upon the reality. If the mind is withdrawn from its present preoccupations, it becomes empty, and nature abhors vacuum. If the mind is withdrawn from the objects of its entertainment, it gathers in itself an infinite momentum, and if it cannot discover for itself a creative field of self application, it is sure to dissipate itself again into a different set of objects. Cleanse the mind of its lust for objects, greed for possessions, covetousness for wealth, and apply the same mind in the fields of contemplation upon the real, the enduring, the eternal. So basically, we have to detach from the world of objects and attach to reality. Because if you do not attach or have a goal, this empty mind, it actually attracts, it it gets hooked on to something else. So when you're withdrawing from the sense of world of objects, you need to give the mind something to hold on to. And that holding on to is holding on to reality. The practical man of the world, at this advice of the philosopher, asks a pertinent question. If possessions are not to be courted, if wealth is not to be acquired, how are we to live? If a philosopher is impractical, the man of the world has got enough common sense to throw up the philosophy and walk his path of joyous fulfillment. No honest philosopher can afford to preach something impractical and impossible. Shankara here indicates how we must live in the world. His advice to us is to live joyously in contentment and satisfaction at what we would get as a result of our actions. That's in inverted commas. There is no limit to human imagination. An individual who has given reins to it can never stop at any conceivable point. Desires multiply the more we satisfy them. The more the desires are satisfied, the more seems to be the hunger, and the deeper gnaws into our peace a sense of tragic dissatisfaction. Man seeks satisfaction in life, but wealth can purchase for us only sense gratifications. Temporarily, no doubt, the passion in us seems to get fulfilled, but ere long, the thirst Trishna returns back to our bosom to persecute us more ruthlessly, and that too with a merciless tyranny. To discover a sense of contentment and live on what we acquire with our honest labor, and not to feed our covetousness, seems to be the only method by which true happiness and inner peace can be gained. In such a bosom alone, the higher contemplations and the consequent discoveries of the new dimensions of the spiritual reality are ever possible. Let me know if any of you wants a repeat of this. Desire for wealth degrades man. Attachment brings endless worries. There is strain in acquiring. There is struggle to preserve intelligently what one has acquired. There is pain when one comes to lose what one had acquired laboriously. There is anxiety to preserve what one has already gained. This is a game of restless sorrows only. In Kathopanishad, the young boy Nachiketas, in his answer to his teacher, Lord Death, has beautifully expressed this idea. Man is never satisfied with his possessions alone. Again, Shankara in his Viveka Chudamani quotes the famous statement of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and says that the deathless and the imperishable can never be hoped to gain through possession of wealth. Na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. This is Kathopanishad. And from Viveka Chudamani it is amritatvasya nasati nasasti vittena eva hi shrutihi. I think the Sanskrit word is better. The Kathopanishad is na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. And amritatvasya nashasti vittenetyeva hi shrutihi. Tena tyaktena bhunjiyaha ma ghritas svidhanam. This is from the Ishavasya Upanishad. Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha ma ghritaha kasyasvid dhanam. That is, what we have to leave in life is only our sense of covetousness. And with this renunciation comes the true enjoyment of the world outside. This open promise we read in the Ishavasya Upanishad: renounce and enjoy, covet not others' wealth. That is the meaning of Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitaha Ma Ghritaha Ma Ghrita Kasya Svidhanam. Renounce and enjoy. Covet not others' wealth.
Can we summarize a little bit, Brahmara? I think.
So this thing is what Swamiji, what Shankaracharya is talking about here in this second shloka is the give up the thirst to possess wealth. You be happy and content. First of all, you give up the thirst to possess wealth and create in your mind the thoughts of reality. So switch from the world of objects to the reality, to what the truth is. That is number one. And second, with whatever you get as a result of your actions of the past, be content. So live a contentious life, live a life of contentment. Do not aspire, because it is like an endless well. The more you acquire, the more you want to acquire.
Right.
So Vitrishna. Trishna is that passion to acquire. Vitrishna is devoid of passion. Attach your mind to the thoughts of reality, because otherwise, if the mind is empty, it will gather a lot of other, it will fill up with something which may not be leading to the truth. So number one is be detached from the world and then attached to the higher. That is one. Second is a life of contentment.
Right.
So it's actually giving us a direction as to how we need to live our life. Basically, I think in one word, this is need-based living. He's not saying, he's saying it is not that you should denounce the world of objects. It's for your enjoyment. That is what Ishavasya Upanishad says. It says,
renounce wealth,
enjoy, and do not covet others' wealth. When do you want to start possessing something? When you look at others, you compare yourself and say, oh, I don't have this, so I want this. So when you start coveting others' wealth, I don't have this model of mobile phone, so I want it. So that's when the desire starts. But you already have a mobile. Are you not content with it? So if it's serving your purposes, serving your need, there you go. But then,
so not comparing also, like one should
we
not compare oneself with other.
Yeah, that is where the whole coveting happens, no?
Yeah, the thoughts starts
Thoughts of
like
possessing.
arising. Yeah.
See, as long as you're doing window shopping in any place, you're happy you're just doing it. But the moment you see that your neighbor or your friend or someone has some particular object or say something, then the thought of possessing it happens. Haven't we noticed that? When there's so many objects out there, but the moment someone that you know has a particular object, then that desire to, hey, listen, even I want it. If there's some beautiful object, say, I'm just giving an example, a sari. Well, most of us here are women, I think, except Percy ji here. Supposing we see a beautiful sari that someone wears, number one, you of course appreciate it. But after that comes, along with that comes the desire. Even I want it. And there it starts. The whole, you know, the uh, the wheel of desire starts. And then you go and ask, don't we ask, where did you get this? How much does it cost? All those questions start coming up. It doesn't stop with just appreciating the beauty of the sari. The next thought is, I want it. I want to possess it. And then that desire stays somewhere deep within and it sprouts later. So that is coveting others' wealth. In a sense, it is. If you just leave that beauty, enjoy it, and say, "Wow, it's a beautiful." Express uh, your joy at looking at that beauty. That's fine, and come back to yourself. Come back to your contentment. Be happy with what you have. You don't need that sari to complete your, uh, to give you a sense of contentment. If that desire is not there, then there is no need for you to fulfill it. So what he's saying, Vitrishna. So there, nip the desire in the bud itself.
Krishna.
If please, anyone else who wants to share their understanding, please go ahead before we go to the next one.
Yeah,
So,
Trishna.
yeah.
Trishna is cutting the thirst, right? Erlong.
Trishna is the thirst.
Thirst, okay.
Vitrishna is a mind which is devoid of the thirst.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
like
Vitrishna.
somebody is
Vitrishna.
wearing a good sari or anything, appreciating that is this is a very thin line actually. But I want it that in that direction. If the thought flow goes, is different. But appreciating something beautiful uh, is a very divine quality. So, at the moment it shifts to demand or that possessive this thing or any negative thing like jealousy or oh it suits her very much, I don't know if it will suit me, all that in that direction if the thought process goes, then it is a dangerous sign. So if you appreciate something and then even our own prana, our own energy elevates like it goes higher. You feel so happy, joyful from within, appreciating that. So I think here we need to be a little bit more careful when we shift over to that downward fall. If we can catch that point, we will save ourselves. But if we just appreciate it, we go into the vastness and joyful state of mind. What do you all say? If we can catch
Wa-
that.
Wanting something again brings us back, takes us to the future. So I want, I will buy. So you will be not in the present moment and you will be searching somewhere. So you will not be in your being there.
Not only that wanting, but it's trying to create yourself all these kinds of thoughts. Then the more thoughts you have, then there is no way you're going to go inwards to that particular one word here, that passion lies my mind
And
to
how you can,
observe in reality.
how long you will like be like this? Okay, I want this, I want this. When will you leave this quality also? It's
Yeah,
a
you
so
have to let
sad.
go of all those things. That's a bottom line, right? So, I mean, you can have sari or you can have something, but you don't need exactly like 50,000 rupees sari or 100,000 rupees sari, like in the gold and
It's
all
like
that stuff.
grabbing and keeping it in the
Yeah,
bag, or means it is
it
like a
looks.
parigraha. And Patanjali says a parigraha. Even thinking about that, the thought comes, you have already possessed it in the mind.
In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, one of the verses they say Maitri, friendship with persons who are happy, Karuna, compassion for people who are full of sorrow, Mudit, happy for those who are doing good work. So we are happy that somebody is possessing something. Then these are the ways to control our own mind. In that particular verse, that is shown Maitri, Karuna, Mudit.
Very
Very
beautiful.
true.
Thank you so
Very
much.
true.
Appreciating and going into this Maitri Karuna Bhav will definitely, it is needed, and this quality should be continued. We should not go into misappreciating anything in this Prakriti. Will always elevate us. And this Maitri Karuna Bhav, if it is there, you are done then. No problem. Very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Actually, I think even in Bhagavad Gita, the 16th, 17th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, how to deal with jealousy was given. So rather than comparing yourself and wanting to possess what that other person has, when, like what Percy ji rightly said, you're feeling happy, number one, and you you feel that let that quality grow in him rather than I want it. If supposing there's a beautiful person who can sing very well, rather than wanting to possess that quality, let that person sing more beautifully. Let that flourish in him. Similarly, someone you've seen wearing a beautiful necklace or a sari, let them enjoy what they have. So then you are disconnecting that you're not letting that desire start in your mind. You're just enjoying the beauty of what is and letting it be there. You're not letting it get into your mind space.
Also, like if somebody has that good quality, then it was written that you should pray that this quality get more refined, or it increases more. Like if somebody
Yeah,
is rich, you pray that he gets more richer
more.
rather than
Exactly.
being
Isn't it?
jealous.
So then that jealousy, you're not allowing a visa for that jealousy to enter, comparison to enter into your mind. All the problems start when you start comparing and say, he has, I don't have, or she has, I don't have. So I want it. So coming
So
back to
lack should be gone, should be removed.
exactly, coming back to the fundamental problem, we are actually complete. We are secure. We don't need anything to complete us. We are that Purnamadah Purnamidam. Not knowing that we are already complete, we think in order to feel complete, we need this and that. That is the delusion. That is the moha that we are under. The false notion that if I possess this, if I have this wealth, then I will be happy.
Also, when one desire gets fulfilled, then a multiple desire rise, and that is seen in, like, if a person's one need is fulfilled, then the second one will come, and it is more seen in the affluent people who are like able to achieve. They are more they are less content rather than the lower class. I've seen, you give them some little thing, then they will be satisfied with that. That craving is more in the people who can get more. I don't know how, like like the more affluent the person would be, the more desires he would be having, and the less the uh, like a normal earning person, you can say, his desires would not be so much. Like, he'll be content with what he has. He will cut his desire or crush his desire if it comes. I think so, like, because for a person who can buy anything, the list will go endlessly, rather than a person who is not able to achieve what he just desire. He will crush his desires to some extent, and only will be like need living, or only will buy what is necessary for him to for his own life. Like,
This is such an important shloka for us to remember. Yeah. I'll just chant the shloka one. Dr. Mara, are you ready with sharing, or do you want me to continue today? I can continue today, no issues. मूढजहीहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निजकर्मोपातं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डकृन्करणे. So we've got three beautiful statements from the Upanishads. One is from the Kathopanishad. Na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. That is, the young boy tells Lord Yama, man is never satisfied with his possessions alone. Because he tries to lure him. He says, I'll give you this, this and this. But he says, no, I just want the answers to my questions. And then Viveka Chudamani, he says, Amritatvasya nashasti vittenetyeva hi shrutihi, which is, the deathless and the imperishable can never be hoped to gain through possession of wealth. And the beautiful statement from the Ishavasya Upanishad, which is Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha ma ghritas kasyas vidhanam. That is, renounce and
Read
enjoy.
the meaning of Vivek Chudamani's that sentence.
Huh?
Vivek Chudamani
Share it now,
sentence.
or
Can you explain that again? Meaning.
No, the deathless and the imperishable, that is the Brahman, the Atman, can never be hoped to gain through possession of wealth. Just by adding and continuing to possess wealth, you will not gain the ultimate. That is what is the meaning.
Okay, thank you.
Amritatvasya nashasti vittenetyeva hi shrutihi. Then Ishavasya Upanishad says, renounce and enjoy, covet not others' wealth. Tena tyaktena bunjita ma krita kasyas vidhanam. This is exactly what Gurudev says. The world is there for your enjoyment, but do it with this awareness that this is not going to complete me. I'm already complete. And do not covet others' wealth.
I have
Now,
seen this in this very prime locality, one of the richest sections in Mumbai. People there, they have such a lot of wealth, and yet, there are people who come to their house, say, wear this stone, wear that stone to protect your wealth, to multiply the wealth. They are not happy yet with what they have. And I have found so much of insecurity in that and in those entire families. I at a point of time I was taking a Nauchetna Shibir in South Bombay in the slums. And on the same time in the evening I was taking a part one course in a wealthy locality. And there is something in the Nauchetna Shibir where you ask them, are you happy right now? And when you're taking the present moment is inevitable point over there was such a lot of difference. The people in the slums were happy right now the way they were with hardly any possessions whatsoever. And these people were so insecure. Each one had a separate car, the husband, the wife, the children had a car to drop them. Two, three cars in the family. And yet they were so insecure. And when they would share that my husband travels a lot. I don't know whether he'll be having somebody else on the sly. All those kind of things in the course was coming out. Such a lot of insecurity, whether the wealth will remain with them on. And then there are either you wear stones costing lakhs of rupees, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, like that. It has to be of a particular size, or you have to do prayers which are costing 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, like that. And then everything, your grahs will be, your planetary configuration will be silenced. So this statement here, where that you fool, you stop wanting wealth, like desiring wealth so much, is so powerful a statement that he's making here. When he's saying he's hitting us from the right and left, it is so true. People with the most wealth are also so much desirous of more wealth or securing the
Yeah.
wealth that they already have.
This is the point what I was having in my mind. Like I was thinking of that. Like the more you have, the more you want, and the less you have, the more content you are.
it is not
Some
again
this
to
thing is
denounce
there, no?
wealthy
मैं
people.
भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु न भूखा जाए. Something, some कहावत saying is there, no? इतना दीजिए, भगवान से प्रेयर है, इतना दीजिए that मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु न भूखा जाए. There is some couplet.
Ramana, shall I share now the screen?
Yeah, you can, Dr. Mara, if you're able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So
You
which
will have
page?
to expand it. Yeah. You've got a 2-page thing. Yeah. This is,
No,
we're on
now
the third shloka.
okay, got it. Which page is it? 13, 14? Uh, it is 16 page, I think. 16 or 18. 16, the third shloka. Third shloka is on the 7th. Yeah, this one. Okay. Now the third sloka, right? We are done with that.
There
The
is a lot of
one.
background noise. I'm not sure, Dr. Mara, from your side.
Oh, my side. Okay.
Maybe you are using headphones. I don't know, but there is some.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. So now, can you chant this sloka for me? And
Yeah, I will chant this.
okay.
नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागामोहावेशम् एतन्मां सवसादिविकारम् मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम्.
Okay. You want to do
I will
this?
do the meaning. Yeah. Nari of maidens, stana bhara, with the weight of their bosom, nabhi desham, their navel, drishtva, having seen, ma, do not, gaha, fall a prey, moha, moha avesham, maddening delusion. Etat, this is, mamsa of flesh, vasa of fat, adi, etc. Vikaram, a modification. Manasi, in your mind. Vichintaya, think well. Varam, varam, again and again. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Seek Govind, seek Govind.
Okay.
Nari Stanabhara, Nabhidesham, Drishtva Magaha, Mohavesham, Etat Mamsa Vasadi Manasi Vichintaya, Varam Varam. Yeah.
Again and again. Okay. Seeing the full bosom of young maidens and their navel, do not fall a prey to maddening delusion. This is but a modification of flesh and fat. Think well, thus in your mind again and again. Seek Govind, seek Govind. So I'll read this one more time. Seeing the full bosom of young maidens and their navel, do not fall a prey to maddening delusion. This is but a modification of flesh and fat. Think well, thus in your mind again and again. Keep going, keep going. In previous stanza, the true seeker is advised to give up all covetousness. Yes.
Can you take care of that? I'm not sure what you're using as your speaker. There is a background noise that's coming. That is
Oh, really?
the clarity of what you're saying. Yeah, it's
Mm,
on
I
and
don't
off.
have anything
Right
on
now, it's
here.
not there,
Mm.
but there is some background. You can go on. I will let you know if there is any.
Yes, there is some disturbance.
I don't know. I don't
Please
have
continue.
anything. In fact, I'm quiet in the room. Yeah.
One second. Let me see. Maybe.
Okay. Now, can you hear okay?
Now it is fine. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right. In the previous stanza, a true seeker is advised to give up all covetousness for the wealth of the world. And here he is advised to give up lusty passions for women. From the days of the Upanishad to our own times, we find in all masters this constant warning against wealth, Kanchana, and the woman, Kamini. But no insult is meant to either. This is a statement of a scientific truth. All intelligent living creatures have these two irresistible urges to possess more wealth and to enjoy woman. So all intelligent living creatures have these two irresistible urges to possess more wealth and to enjoy woman. All living organisms in the world move towards the one great harbor, seeking peace and harmony. All are always instinctively whipped up by two definite urges: to escape pain and to attain happiness. One is dukkha nivritti and the sukha prapti. Excuse me. It is only to end all anxieties and sense of insecurity that man runs after wealth. To him, possessions are barricades against his enemy, fear. Excuse me. Dr. Savita, or anybody can read for some time.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll take over. No problem. Um, Against the besieging troops of uncertainties in life, man builds imaginary fortresses around him with money and wealth. Even a millionaire is found to be not really happy because he wants more. When he feels relatively a little secure from fears, he feels fully the other urge more and more, namely the attainment of happiness. It is under this urge that man readily falls to the irresistible enchantments of the flesh and runs after the bosom of women. Here, the statement of man's natural attraction to women must be understood to include women's equally natural attraction to man. In both the cases, sorrow alone is the ultimate destination where they both reach hand in hand. Biologically, nature has made man and women with a natural affinity for the charms of the opposite sex. This natural urge is to be controlled, disciplined, purified, sublimated. An intelligent intellect alone can achieve this. An animal cannot. To act according to its instincts and impulses is but its privilege. The glory of man is that he can, by his rational intellect, curb and control the flow of his instincts for carnal pleasures and re-divert them, thus ultimately sublimating himself into something nobler and more divine. Seekers in their early days of practice should find this rather difficult, since it is against the very nature of their flesh. Human body can seek its fulfillment only in the fields of sense objects. It is the intellect that always gets visions of the higher possibilities. For the attainment of these visions, with the help of a trained mind, the intellect comes to curb the passionate flow of the flesh and thus turn the entire current turn the entire current personality into the more rewarding channels of spiritual upliftment. It experiences, as time passes on, a divine unfoldment within. This technique of reversing the process of instinct to flow in the direction of rational contemplation is called in the Yoga Shastra as Pratipaksha Bhavana. Throughout, among the scriptural texts, we meet with many an advice based upon this technique. Here, Shankara gives us a line of thinking which can be an efficient antidote to the fanciful prize that the body gives to the objects of the senses. The soft, inviting bosom of your beloved, if scientifically analyzed and mentally seen in its reality, will reveal itself to be composed of only aberrant flesh and fat packed in a scaly skin. If these component parts are brought before your mental vision, spiritually the mind shall immediately retreat from the disgusting ugliness of it all. Through the practice of this Pratipaksha Bhavana, we can re-educate our mind not to run away with its imagined picture of happiness in the perishable softness of the filth-filled body. Shankara thus, with the very opening stanzas of Bhaj Govindam, cures the student of his two most powerful fascinations, his thirst for wealth and his instinctive hunger for flesh. When these two are eliminated from a personality, it will have no more fuel to jerk it out on to the outer fields of its enchantments. This cannot come about very readily. Even when it comes, it cannot be maintained so easily. Millions of lives have we lived in the lower realm of evolution, and each one of us has gathered this powerful instinct of self-preservation, preservation of the individual and the race. To rise above them is an achievement in itself. And for this, repeated varam practice is unavoidable. In Viveka Chudamani also, we meet with the same idea. The objects of the world, yeah, I think that footnote is there. Can you go down a bit? The footnote that talks of the Viveka Chudamani. Yeah. So, dosha drishtva muhur muhuhu. Virajya vishaya vrata dosha drishtya muhur muhuhu. Yeah, you can go back to the. So
This
the
is what
object,
that body part meditation, no, Brahmaraji?
yeah,
Body part meditation.
right. The
The
object,
meaning of that Viveka Chudamani
yeah,
is been given there, or
1 second. Can you
can we
go a
check it out?
little down?
Yeah.
Down or up? Yeah. No.
No. That English.
No, you'll have to scroll
They don't
back
have the.
where we stopped.
Yeah, that's where I show you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So this
here.
is in Viveka Chudamani also we meet.
We meet the same idea. Can you
Yeah.
go up?
You
No,
want to
yes.
go
No.
up?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
to rise above them is an achievement in itself. And for this, repeated varam practice is unavoidable. Basically, muhur muhu is varam. That is
Param,
muhur
yes, same.
is
Repeated
again and again. Yeah.
again.
Punaha.
Okay.
It's the same. It's the same.
So he is comparing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he said to rise above them is an achievement in itself.
Mm.
And repeated and practice is unavoidable.
You have to reverse the process of the instinct. Instinctively, any animal goes towards self-preservation, enjoyment, and so here you have to, with your viveka, with your intellect, and that only a man is capable of, you have to reverse this process. That is the pratipaksha bhav, where you see the futility of that. You break it down into its constituent parts. What is it? The soft bosom that you think is nothing but flesh and fat, which is covered by skin. So again, and you bring your mind back to this, then you can, you can have a say over it. The objects of the world exist and play their pranks upon us. But do we ever see them as they are? Each one has a knack of throwing a veil of his own fanciful imaginations to decorate the objects with his private mental likes and dislikes. This is, if you remember, this is the Shobhana Dhyasa we had learned in Bhagavad Gita. Money is there, but we impose happiness on money. That is the Shobhana Dhyasa. So objects are there, but do we see them as objects? Each one has a knack of throwing a veil of his own fanciful imaginations to decorate the objects with his private mental likes and dislikes. Thus, we see not the world as it is, but gaze at a world splashed all over with our own mental contents. Through close observation, diligent inquiry, and scientific analysis, we can remove the unnatural color that we have thrown upon the objects around us and see them in their native beauty and in their natural forms. It's very coincidental that we're talking of color today. It's actually Holi, and happy Holi to all of us. It is very it's amazing, this coincidence. So we can remove the unnatural color that we have thrown upon the objects. That is what we impose. We impose happiness on the object. We impose joy. We impose security on wealth, on real estate, on everything. So these are the unnatural color that we have thrown upon objects. But what Shankara is goading us to do is to see them in their native beauty and in their natural form. In the gathering dusk of a dusty evening, we may misunderstand the things we perceive in front of us at a distance. But on moving nearer the objects with an enquiring mind, we shall realize their true worth and learn to drop them as useless. Money and women in themselves are not a threat to man, but in our false imaginations, we give them both a ridiculously inflated value, and striving for their sake, we come to lay waste our powers. It is this hallucination in man and the consequent illusory fascination for the world which he entertains that exile him from his own inner kingdom of joy. What a whiplash! Shankara himself is giving a whiplash, and Swami Chinmayananda is just adding to it.
Yeah,
Really, it is like hitting us right and left.
like
The
the
two
whole, like
W's.
from
The
the
two W's we have to
introduction
take.
here,
Yeah, wealth
but
and women.
they are really telling you what need to be, what need to happen, right? And money and women, not a threat to the man, but false imagination is what's caused the problem.
It's not only woman, it's men also. So
Correct.
there is no
I know.
gender.
I know. It is both ways. That is what Swamiji has clarified. No, it is not
Yeah.
just women. It is also basically the opposite sex. So talking about the flesh. So it is either we run after wealth or we run after flesh. And we think that is where there is joy. So when we
Also, no, you
practice
carry on.
Daksha Bhavana, then that will help us stay in this inner kingdom of joy and not run after these illusory happinesses. Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Savita.
Yeah, I was just telling, like, because there are so many lifetimes we have lived. Na 84 lakh yonis we have crossed, and after that we have taken birth. So it is like that impressions we are having from so many lifetimes. That is why it is so difficult to overcome these lust or the flesh feeling which a person go for, because uh, he has those impression, and it is not, if you take a one lifetime of human, it will not go away. It will take many lifetimes to erase those impressions of those lust for flesh, because they naturally, the causal body is having all those impressions, no, so it will not wash away in a single, it will take many births. But yes, a human can do it, because the god has given him all the intellect and mind complex. So uh, it is for the human who's so evolved and can go past it.
So that is why he's given us three things. One is, can you just scroll up a little? Yeah. Through close observation, three things he's giving: close observation, diligent inquiry, and scientific analysis. We can remove the unnatural color that we have thrown upon the objects around us and see them in their native beauty and in their natural forms. I think this is the reason why I always wondered why on temples, on most of the Indian temples, ancient temples, they have these figurines of women, with
Yeah, that all
yeah.
this,
So I
yeah,
think
all
it
the
is
dancing poses and
yeah.
Most of them are in dancing poses and
dancing poses, and they're quite revealing. Actually, if you look at it, it is quite sexually motivating, if I can say that. But then I think it is
but
meant for
if
a reason.
naturally, yeah, like even you go to any part of the world, in fact, you go to Paris, that all those Louvre museum, and you name all these artists, how they draw the picture, they kind of do what is naturally happening, right? If you see it in that art perspective, it's not going to raise that kind of thing. But then, I mean, again, how they look, in what mind they're looking at, that probably what will they perceive in a way. But you're right, we see all the temples have lots of, especially those pillars, you see that poses.
Even Khajuraho in India, no?
I think it is meant for a reason. I'm not sure the exact reason, but probably going by what we have understood here is you have to go past that, go past your uh, uh, the delusion of the flesh, go beyond that. That is why beyond that, they're all there in the periphery, and the sanctum sanctorum has the deity. So basically,
Whatever pleasure you get, it is impermanent. So we have to live it also that. So in Bhajagovindam only that is non-perishable. Towards that journey we have to go. So whatever we are getting in life, the pleasures from things, objects, or person, that we should not get bonded, attached to that, bound by that.
Like you said, it may be beauty, something that you perceive
This is
as
like Maya again, Maya.
yeah, the whole thing about
true. Yeah, everything is Maya, right?
Yeah, but this appreciating is a beautiful quality. Again, I would say the
Yeah.
same thing.
Mm.
And then you need to surpass that. You have to uplift yourself from that. Understanding the limitations of the flesh and from where the source, what is the source of joy, what is that, then from the drishya, you have to come back to the drishta and settle there. So that is why I see the way the temples are constructed. These things you will see only in the outer sections of the. As you go towards sanctum sanctorum, emptiness comes, or maximum the Shivlinga or some deity adorning. So this is all the very beautiful process through which these temples are constructed. They are very scientific and very in alignment with human mind, how it works and how it can go towards the process of evolution.
Gurudev says now, even when we are visiting the temples, if such a thought comes there also, so before going to inside Garbhagruha, we have to see this and drop that craving or that thought or desire. So we can be in our being and we can pray there like that. So in temples, such मूर्ति और वो बनाते थे और रखते थे.
Can you repeat what you said, Sarlaji? I like some
Yeah,
disturbance.
somewhere Gurudev has said, means while visiting the temples also, if such a thought come or desire come, so before going to Garbhagruha, means Santorium, if such thought comes, we can see and drop that desires or thoughts. Ultimately, it goes down. Ki, oh, we have come to pray. We have come to temple for pray. So that thought also vanishes looking at that murtis or somewhere like that. I have heard Gurudev saying this, but where I don't remember right now.
Yeah, it will be interesting to know exactly what the import of that is. I think by and large, this is what the meaning is, but this is what the significance is. But from this shloka, this Nari Stana Bhara Nabhidesham Drishtva Maga Mohavesham Etan Mam Savasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhajam Mudhamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karane. So, number one is to use this technique of Pratipaksha Bhavana. When you break down the constituents of that bosom of the breast into its constituents, what is it? It is nothing but flesh, fat, and which is covered by skin. So when you do this analysis with an inquiring mind and scientific analysis, then it loosens its grip over you. And it will help you reverse your path. Instead of just being instinctive like an animal instincts. That is what those carnal instincts are. There's just the animalistic instincts. Rather than being that, you use your viveka and go in the reverse direction towards that inner kingdom of joy.
Once in one satsang, I don't know, satsang or somewhere, but I have read it. Guruji has, one person has told that I always see as a, my eyes always see as a X-ray beyond the clothes. Okay. Then Guruji said, why only you go beyond the clothes? You go beyond the skin also. When you go beyond the skin, you will see only the mansa. That is what it is here now. Mansa and the blood.
Skeletal,
So
skeletal.
Skeletal.
You will see.
So you will see the same everywhere. So
Yeah,
same
layer
thing
by
here.
layer, if you go layer by layer, you will see
layer
more
by
and
layer.
more ugly. Yeah.
You go deeper than the skin. You told you go deeper in from the clothes, no? You go deeper in the skin also.
In Vigyan Pera Gurudev said, na, see everybody as a khopdi.
Kopdi. It means it is just a mansa. That is what is here. The same. It's a form, is a growth of a flesh. So if you go beyond the skin, you will see the mansa and the blood.
So what is the Pratipaksha Bhavana? Like I forgot what the Pratipaksha means.
Means opposite.
Oh.
You have to bring that opposite, like it is only it is only a flesh, growth of a flesh, like that.
Actually, one of the days we can go through the some talk or some video where they exactly explain us the way the temples are constructed in India. The outermost, this thing, the entrance and the bell and that tortoise and Nandi, and then how you go, the Dwarpals and all 8 this all directions, and how step by step from gross to subtle, and even from chakra, from lower chakra to upper chakras, how these all instruments like bell and the drums and string instruments, how they affect us, and then at the end, very inside, it is hollow and empty, or the shivling or something. the whole construction of the temple itself is a very uplifting this thing. It can like give you that mukti, freedom, very powerful. Jai Gurudev.
So we have about 7 minutes. I think we'll close here today. So we can play the Bhaja Govindam.
Brahmaraji,
Yes.
please. These three things you mentioned, no? Three things. Can you repeat that? That sentence. Three things.
Right. One is through close observation, diligent inquiry, and scientific analysis, we can remove the unnatural color that we have thrown upon the objects around us and see them in their native beauty and in their natural forms.
Yes.
Close
Very
observation, diligent inquiry, and scientific analysis.
Okay. Close observation, scientific diligent inquiry, and scientific analysis. Very good. Thank you.
So here the Viveka is the most important in any all of this, you know. Viveka. What is this? Nitya and Anitya. Difference between Nitya and Anitya. That we have to. So if you have Viveka, that's it, the close analysis, scientific analysis, everything, inquiry, diligence, all this will come in that.
So we'll close here today. We'll just chant those two shlokas that we did today.
I don't know how to stream that other songs, but I don't know. This one doesn't play the music here.
I think we'll have to stop this and share. You can share MS Subbulakshmi's thing. Are you able to? If not,
Yeah,
if
it doesn't have this order of songs. It
I
only
will-
selected 11 of that, in there. Let me see if I can get that.
So while we do that, I'll just chant the shlokas that we did today. The second, we did two shlokas, second and the third. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karane. मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निजकर्मोपात्तं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम् भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा माघामोहावेशम् एतन्मां सवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम् भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःकृन्करणे. So, O fool, give up the thirst to possess wealth. Create in your mind, devoid of passions, thoughts of the reality. With whatever you get as a reward of the past, entertain your mind, that is, be content. Seek Govind, seek Govind. Seeing at the full bosom of young maidens and their navel, do not fall a prey to maddening delusion. This is but a modification of flesh and fat. Think well thus in your mind again and again. Seek Govind, seek Govind. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. I will share Bhaj Govindam. 1 second.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। मूढजहीहि धनागमतृष्णा मूढजहीहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा। यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपातं यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपातं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तं। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। यावत्प्रीतोपार्जनशक्तः तावत् निज परिवारो रतः यावत्प्रीतोपार्जनशक्तः तावत् निज परिवारो रतः पश्चाज्जीवति पश्चाज्जीवति वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति या